Hey, Sports Porcher, it's your hockey Jesus, and I'm back with round two first impressions of what is going on in the NHL playoffs. Well, the second round is well underway. As you can see, the board behind me is starting to fill up. There's some really just some great series going on. There's one kind of a dud series, which I kind of warned you about. So, don't be surprised by that. But before I get to the hockey playoffs, there's something that we must address, and that is this right here. That's right. We have to talk a little bit about the NHL hockey draft that happened this past week. What a terrible thing that was. I mean, come on, NHL. I know you want to try and, drum up some excitement about the draft. And so do I. I think it's really good to do that. But the way you did it was absolutely pathetic and awful and a joke. Okay. Here's what you need to do the balls, everybody doesn't understand the ball thing. If you're going to do that, when you pick a ball, you show the teams and you say, if this is picked, their odds go up or their odds go down. If you're not going to show what happens when you pick a ball and how the odds are changing, it's just dumb. You should just go back to the cards and start from what was it, 16, work your way up to 10, work your way up to 5, and then show the top 5 after that because you just confused everybody by doing it that way. And it was really kind of hilarious the way it done. Now, I'm your hockey Jesus. I love the Pittsburgh Penguins. They're the team I root for when they're playing. And so this was not a good draft for the Pittsburgh Penguins. They did drop 2 spots, but it was a great draft for the New York Islanders. They zoomed to the top. And actually it was really interesting because the Pittsburgh Penguins were in that final group. If one of their 2 balls got called, they would have been the number 1 pick. And then I guess it all went downhill from there because they kept picking balls and we kept dropping and we actually lost 2 spots. Pittsburgh Penguins fans, don't be too concerned about that. New York Islanders fans, you should be pretty excited. You're gonna get a great guy in that Matthew Shepard. If I'm sorry, Schaefer. I said Shepard. Matthew Schaefer. He's a really good player, but do you want a defenseman? Yeah, you probably want somebody to play with Dobson, considering he's not really a great number 1. He'll be a good pick for you, Islanders. I'm not really happy about you getting that pick, but hey, that's the way the balls bounce, as they say. So let's get to the NHL, and let's start with this series right here. That's right. It's the Carolina Hurricanes and the Washington Capitals. Last night, the Capitals tied the series at 1-1. I tried to warn you this was going to be a bit of a snooze fest. And sure enough, thank you for proving me, your hockey Jesus, correct as usual. 2-1 overtime win for Carolina in the first game and a 3-1 Capitals victory in the second game. Really, it was a 2-1 game. The Capitals got a late empty net goal. Good thing they get the empty net because you know what happens when you don't get that empty net. Bad things. We've seen that in this playoff so far. It's this series is completely even. Freddie's got a 912 save percentage. That's Freddie Anderson for the Carolina Hurricanes. If you're not watching this series, don't blame you. 912 save percentage, 1.48 goals against, and Logan Thompson 951 save percentage, very impressive, and a 1.46 goals against. So what that's telling me is Carolina's getting more shots on goal. Capitals goalies a little bit better than Carolina's, and honestly, power plays are even, 20 to 17%. The penalty kills about the same. Everything about this is even. What the Capitals need to do is they need to get their power play going. Ovi's got no points, no assists, no goals. He's a dead even. He's just not really doing anything. I'm wondering if he's hitting a wall. That would be bad for the Capitals. Unfortunately, I think I see this one going 6 or 7, and most of the games are going to be like this. Ouch. How about the next series? Florida Panthers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Well, this is a surprise to me. Toronto up 2-0. Hey, they have home ice advantage. So to take both games in Toronto, good for you, Toronto, because every time you win the first 2 games, you have not lost. a playoff series when winning the first two games. I hope I didn't jinx you with that. I'm not the only one saying it, so I'm not here to jinx you, Toronto, because I think you're playing great. Here's the deal with Toronto. Getting great contributions from their defense. From their top four, they have 2 goals and 8 assists in 2 games from their top four defensemen. That's incredible. That's what that's telling me is either Florida's not doing a good job of getting in the lanes and the pucks are getting to the net. They're getting good flicks. Not good goalie play. And only has 1 goal. 1 goal for Matthews. Ooh, that's not good. But they're up 2-0, so that's really good. So I think Toronto's off to a flying start here. Florida, what's going on with Florida? Their defense are just not getting it done. 1 goal and 3 assists for their top four defensemen. Their secondary scoring's way down. Remember guys like Rodriguez and Reinhardt just tearing it up last season. They've got no points, and they're both a -3. Barkov, Verhage, Bennett are all minus players right now. And, the games were close. 5-4 Toronto in the first one, 4-3 Toronto in the second. So despite not really getting much done by Florida, they've been in it. And that's really because Stolarz, who had been concussed in the first game and had to leave it, Wall has actually been a really good, well, I shouldn't say really good, but he's been okay in replacing Stolarz. I think if Stolarz was there, this would look a lot worse. And what else do I got to say here? Never lost a series, down 2-0. Oh, here's the real problem. Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky's 0-2. Clearly, they're down 2-0. 820 save percentage, 4.70 goals against. Man, when Bob was flying last year in the playoffs, that's what made Florida go. They're going to have to do something to get him back into the game. I don't know if they're going to pack their defense back. They're not getting much offensive. Maybe it's going to be time to play a Carolina type game and pack it in a little bit. I don't know. Toronto is playing really great. We'll see what happens. The next game's really important. Florida needs to come out and show that they can take advantage of this. Let's jump to the West. Last night, if you weren't watching it, I told you to watch this series. Edmonton Oilers versus the Las Vegas Knights. Just incredible. It's really difficult for me to stay up. These games are starting to have a cumulative effect on the hockey Jesus's brain. I've just been feeling off lately. So last night I turned the game off. Didn't watch. After the first period, I made an effort to just, I'm going to bed about midway through the second. So, but watched half the game. Got up this morning, finished watching it, and I was not disappointed. That overtime game, Edmonton wins 5-4. They take a 2-0 series lead. They win 4-2 in the first and look pretty dominant in the first. Vegas, I thought, took it to them for the most part in most of the game in that second game, but they just, that second period for Edmonton, they're getting a lot of secondary scoring, and that's really keeping them in it. Edmonton is not doing anything right on the power play. They're 0 for Z. They have no power play goals. They're only 57% in the penalty kill. Vegas is absolutely dominating the special teams, and that's usually good news for Vegas. However, Picard's been all right, but Aiden Hill, my goodness, 862 save percentage, 404 goals against. That's really what's killing them right now. And honestly, I have to say this. It's not because anything Vegas is doing wrong. It's because of what Edmonton's doing right. Getting secondary scoring, getting your superstars just constantly, getting that puck to the goal. I don't know. I don't know if Vegas can overcome this, to be honest with you. I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I think Vegas might make a run at it. Vegas is healthy. Edmonton actually has Ekholm out. So that should be advantage Vegas. But right now, it's all Edmonton. I like the way they're playing. Whew. I mean, right now, if you're looking at an Edmonton-Toronto final, sorry, I'm not gonna jump that far, but if it does, Canada, you'll have to take 2 weeks off in June because that will just be an incredible series. Let's jump to the last one in the West. Okay, let's talk about the Dallas Stars and the Winnipeg Jets. Okay, this game has only played one game, so it's 1-0 Dallas, 3-2 Dallas. My goodness. Mikko Rantanen will not stop. This is the guy who absolutely looks like the Conn Smythe favorite right now. 100%, no doubt about it. This guy is absolutely on fire. He's got like a 3.5 points per game average in the last 2 games. That's absolutely ridiculous. 2.0 is good. 3.5 is out of this world, like record beating type stuff. I mean, he has 6 goals. He had 6 goals in 3 periods. The last period of game 7, and then he had 3 again in this game in the second period. And I don't know if you want to count that third goal as a goal that he got, went off the guy's skate and went in. It is his goal. But hey, when things are going good for you, they're going really good for Rantanen. They got Robertson back. Haskinen's still out for Dallas. Tonight's game will be, I think it's going to be an excellent game. Absolutely should be watching that game tonight. Winnipeg and Dallas. Winnipeg fans, you're crazy. I love you guys up there in Winnipeg. Just a huge fan. You're really trying to will your team past this Dallas team. They're very talented. And I know you know it. You got Shifley back, but you did not get Morrissey back. I think you need to get Morrissey back. I don't know if he's going to play or not. They're not really saying what his injury is. And he really runs that power play. The power play has not been good without him. Winnipeg has 0% on the power play. It's only one game, so there's no need to panic. But I would really think that that's what you're going to have to look out for if you're watching that Winnipeg Dallas series. And look, lots of hockey this weekend. There is one more thing that I would like to go over with you guys before I leave you off to your weekend. I'll be back next week, obviously. Where is it? Right here. That's right. Let's talk about this for just 1 second. For those of you on the podcast, I just put up a graphic of the Utah Mammoth. That's right. They're no longer the Utah No Names. Utah has a name, and they're the Mammoth. Here's the problem I have with the Mammoth. I guess the logo's okay. You know, it's a kind of a woolly mammoth. You know, the head, it looks, shaped. If you look at it close enough, it's one of those optical illusions where it's actually a mountaintop also. That's pretty cool. I love the colors, by the way. Big fan of the blue and that light blue and that dark blue and that white. But mammoth? Just one mammoth? Not mammoths? What's going on with that, Utah? I know you voted it in, and I know that's what the fans voted in. Everybody loves Yeti. Like, there's only one Yeti. You could have been called the Yeti because there's only one Yeti, but yet you were worried about, like, naming rights and being, lined up with, like, the cooler people. I don't know. Would have went with the Yeti myself. I'm not a big fan of the Mammoth. Logos, it's all right. But, hey, if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. I'm your Hockey Jesus. I'm here with the boys on the Sports Porch. ThePorchIsLive.com is where you can catch our podcast. And honestly, you can catch them anywhere. Spotify, all those places. I'll be back with more round 2 analysis. So until then, people of hockey, I'm your Hockey Jesus, bringing you the truth. Welcome to the show, and I'll see you in the next one.